Welcome everyone to the AMP Center virtual briefing. Really happy to have everybody on the call today. We wanted to kind of give everybody a high-level update on how we're doing at the AMP Center and just some highlights, some updates, and then also let you know what's going to be happening this year. So thank you for joining. I'm recording. See here, just go over the agenda real quick. So you're going to hear just a brief update from me on where we are with the consortium and the events. Mike's going to give a executive overview. Luke Wells is going to give an update on our Battery Research Center. Mike Malley will give an update on our Power Research Center. Ray New will give an update on our Workforce Development Program. And then finally, Olga will give us an update on the business intelligence side. And then hopefully we'll have some time at the end for Q&A. But I would suggest as we're going through the presentation, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. And then we get to the end, we can kind of go through those and try to answer those. And if we're out of time, we'll have a record of all those questions, and I'll make sure that we reach out with all of the answers for those. So before we get started, just make sure you're muted. All right. So first, just want to say thank you to all of our consortium members that are on the call today. Always like to show this slide so that Mike lets me keep my job, but I think we've done a really good job of growing our consortium. We're now over, I think, like 46 members. So we've come a long way in the last few years. Last year, we added 24 consortium members, hosted multiple events. Some of the highlights were an economic development workshop we did last year, our spring consortium meeting, and then really kind of the highlight event last year was our Battery Research Center steering committee launch. And you can see we got the picture there of Mr. Bob Gallion, of course, addressing the group. So really a lot of heavy hitters in the room that day. So that was a great event. Attended a lot of conferences and trade shows last year to really kind of promote AMP and then also promote the state of Alabama to let them know what we're doing in the battery space. So this year, upcoming, Military Power Services Consortium, their annual meeting. It was originally, some of you I think maybe have registered for this. It was supposed to be in March. Due to some unforeseen circumstances on their side, we're going to reschedule this. I think we're looking at April, but just stay tuned on that. We will be doing a ribbon cutting for our Power Research Lab and a kickoff meeting, steering committee kickoff meetings for Power Research and a steering committee kickoff for Workforce on April the 9th. Invitations should be going out soon, so please save the date. We would like to do a focused consortium event this summer around innovations in coding on the electrode side. So stay tuned for more information on that. I'm happy to announce today that we are partnering with Soteria to host their lithium safe battery safety workshop on September 15th and 16th. So this is hot off the press, and you can register at lithiumsafe.net. And then this fall, we'll be doing our annual consortium meeting, but also we will be doing ribbon cutting for our Battery Research Center, which will include our pilot line. So really, really excited about that as well. So it's going to be a really, really fun and great year and exciting year for the AMP Center. I'm going to hand it over to our Executive Director, Mike Oatridge.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for joining the meeting. Go ahead, Brad. Our team has grown in size. I think you know most of it. I'm still executive director. They haven't fired me yet. Mike, we have promoted to the director of research, strategy, and special projects. Rim New is the manager of workforce. Kim is our research support. Olga does all our business intelligence. Luke is maybe the newest member to our team, who is our battery lab engineering manager. Elizabeth is a workforce development coordinator, works with Renew. Sparsh is our autonomous and systems engineer who is working in the Power Research Center right now. Brad, you all know. And Tony, we hired because of the quantity of events we're doing and somebody to keep us sane. So she's a great partner. And we just finished hiring a master electrician to help staff the power lab downstairs. Next. So overall, we've built a really good momentum, I believe, in advancing our mission and catalyzing innovation, preparing for the future. A couple things, the Battery Research Center, we have secured all the funding. The design is complete. You're going to hear a lot more about this. But really, the idea is to support cutting-edge research and materials innovation, prototype testing, collaboration around industry and manufacturing of batteries. The Power Research Center is now fully operational. We're supporting multiple projects concurrently. One of the biggest ones down there is the Battery Workforce Challenge, as well as several other projects with SPOC and several others. The training center has been underway for quite some time now. The hands-on facility, you'll hear a lot more from Renew today, and really looking at, I stole a link from Kimberly, but K through Gray, from kindergarten through retirement, and deploying several new programs. And then business intelligence has come a long way. You'll hear more about Evolve. You'll hear more about our community readiness programs and several other programs that OGA is working on next. So what I'm trying to say is we wrote a strategic plan 3 years ago. We review that plan every year, and we have decided that we will not change any of our strategic priorities at this point. We are still moving along those paths and see great need for each one of them to come to fruition. Next. Some of you are aware that we were a finalist or semi-finalist for the NSF Regional Innovation Engine Grant. Unfortunately, we were not selected to go to the final. We got out of 700 down to 29, I think, and now there's 15 left. The good news is that the 112 partners we have come back to us and says, please don't stop. I don't care if you didn't get the funding. So we're now in a funding mechanism, and actually Southern Company has taken the lead on this. So we will be creating a 501c3 and a 501c4 to help this regional approach to this problem with still with our main partners being Mississippi State, University of Georgia, ourselves, and Southern Company. Next. And I'll hand that off to Luke.
Hi, Luke Wells. Next slide, please. So just a quick reminder, the Battery Research Center is more than just a cell prototype production facility. So inside of the scope of this research center, it's also testing as a service, materials characterization and analytics, cataloging material performance. So what you see on this image on the right is a chunk of some of the equipment that has already arrived. And we're under an active construction phase. So I'm going to describe where we're at with that. Next slide, please. So under that scope, materials characterization, this has a separate lab itself. The construction over there is largely cosmetic, and it's targeted completion somewhere mid-March. So all equipment for this room has already been received and uncrated, and it will be commissioned week 3, week 4 of March. In the coin cell laboratory, this is also largely cosmetic. This construction completion is planned for mid-April, and all equipment has been ordered and it's on schedule. What you see in this time lapse is the construction for the dry room and the formation area. So the floor has already been prepped, concrete's been poured, the structure is going up. The mixing equipment that will be housed in this dry room, it's already been received. I'm gonna do training on it in the materials characterization room after I have that up and running, and then it will move into the dry room. The coating equipment is set to be installed beginning of May, and the cell construction, the automated assembly equipment is mid-June. Next slide, please. So these are the milestones that I've set for the Battery Research Center for 2026. So first electrical testing, the target was March 1st. It's already been completed. We've got some channels up and running. We can have some some more projects coming in are ready for testing as a service. Materials characterization room set up. The target is April 1st. There's no signs that we'll have any difficulty having that up and running. The coin cell laboratory set up May 1st. So the first cell that we will assemble at AMP, this will be using electrodes that are produced externally. The target is July 1st. Our in-house electrode production, first round, August 1st. First cell that's all AMP using electrodes that are produced in AMP. This is September 5th is the target. This is the anniversary for the kickoff of our technical advisory board. I'm really looking forward to that. And then a freeze of cell design, either a high power or high energy by November 1st. And that's what I have for milestones. Next slide, please.
Okay, I'm next, Mike Malley, Director of Research Programs at the Alabama Mobility and Power Center. And so, as many of you well know, this is our Power Research Center, which provides an industry-accessible, grid-connected testing and validation infrastructure for battery energy storage systems, EV charging networks, microgrids, high-power electronics, inverters. We have, worth mentioning, is we've just forged the advisory board, which will kick off in April of this year. It will kind of double as the ribbon cutting for this event. And so these photos kind of capture some of the updates. Our official launch, we're considering alongside of that advisory board kickoff in April. What you see here is sort of a layout of the top deck and the secure research areas. The bottom bay area where we've got, a test rig for chargers, the Mercedes EV, a secure space for the Battery Workforce Challenge where they're assembling a module and pack to go into a Stellantis vehicle, and some of our other assets, including that test rig for level 2 EV chargers, battery energy storage system that features Second Life Tesla packs, and a Mercedes pack and table there on the bottom. Next slide. So just kind of some of our milestones. In terms of research, infrastructure, and workforce, we've established a dedicated makerspace, 3D printing, CNC, machining, laser welding, some other rapid prototyping tools. We've built out the secure research bays with controlled access, fully furnished, with a configurable power and data infrastructure. We've hired a full-time master electrician to support high voltage systems, commissioning, and the general infrastructure. We've hired an autonomous systems engineer to advance our robotics, mobile charging, and the 5G enabled testbed deployment, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail here in a moment. And developed our in-house capabilities for equipment installation, troubleshooting, fabrication, and field deployment testing. Next slide. On the energy storage system side, we've installed and commissioned that Smartville unit that you saw there a moment ago. We have commissioned our battery module and pack tester, which we're using to support the Battery Workforce Challenge currently and a few other industry-driven contracts. We've completed the move-in and operational support of that Battery Workforce Challenge, which is an advanced vehicle competition with DOE and Stellantis. On the charging power electronics side, we've built a dedicated EV testing wall for validation, performance verification, final acceptance testing in partnership with eVerged. We've also deployed eVerged level 2s in the front and rear skid, kind of completing our proposed infrastructure. And we have just launched a mobile EV charger project in partnership with eVerged and Betacom that will deploy across the university campus for starters. 5G O-RAN, this is an exciting project to kind of create a 5G O-RAN test bed. So we've got all of the radios, indoor and outdoor infrastructure fully deployed. We'll be turning that on, optimizing the network here in the next month. We've also started some use case validation testing, the first of which is the deployment of a WheelMe material handling robot. On the microgrid and power infrastructure side, we've analyzed, configured the power grid, or the power secure microgrid, rooftop solar array. We've resolved some Modbus communication issues between the microgrid and the university's building automation system. Established remote access for the microgrid controller so that we can run some experiments. And we've completed Niagara certifications to support the university's building automation system, start incorporating some of the devices that we've added to the infrastructure, and ultimately setting the path for building control. Some things that are in progress and that will complete here in the next quarter is hiring a power research engineering manager, basically Luke's counterpart, to oversee the operations of the Power Research Center. We'll fully commission the 5G O-RAN, which we just talked about, and expand use case validation to our university priorities. We're finalizing some co-location and facilities agreements with our core industry partners. And we're kicking off a couple contracted BESS initiatives that deal in microgrid integration, pre-certification testing, state of health analytics. And actually this morning we had our first demonstration of a large-scale battery burn center, which is a partnership with the Alabama Fire College, Shelton State, ESRG, ESA, and the university. And we set off a EV pack so that we can do some fire safety and abuse testing.
Glad to see you survived, Mike.
I made it, but it was exciting.
All right, Renu.
Good afternoon, all. Next slide, please. Hi. First, I'm going to talk about all the program courses and curriculum that AMP program has initiated so far and where these programs are right now. The first one is we launched the EV Go-Kart program in this semester, starting this in the high school and the technical college students at TCTA and the Shelton State specifically procured the 28 EV Go-Karts and the rider software that will support the hands-on learning to these students, and introduce the modern manufacturing program that goes with the automation programs and the battery manufacturing, and that also includes the high voltage safety module in this. Also launched a 9-week of hackathon competition in TCTA, that's Tuscaloosa Career and Technical Academy. It engages 54 students. Those are focused on manufacturing, computers, manufacturing and computers field. Designed 4 new training programs and aligned with the workforce needs, regional workforce needs. And these 4 programs are advanced manufacturing automation for battery production, battery material engineering and recycling, supply chain management and battery materials, energy storage system and grid integration. We did some industry feedbacks, did the surveys and industry analysis, and they are in the progress for the instructional designer for the detailed curriculum development and the delivery framework. We also have another program under development, that's EV repair and maintenance. The curriculum is almost done and the survey is being distributed to the instructor for the industry experts. Next slide, please. The other bucket that this department sees is outreach and awareness. We launched a 2025 Powering Alabama's Futures webinar series. 6 episodes of podcast has been released so far, and they are different in a way that these podcasts has been focused on the students. Hosted counselors professional development. More than 30 counselors participated in this from the Tuscaloosa County. That means more than 10,000 students have been touched with the information provided to the counselors. Participated in several outreach programs. We coordinated with different entities across Alabama through this. AMP courses and skill catalog was built, and it's being compared consistently with the existing curriculum that's being that's right now in the K through 12 and the technical colleges. So next slide, please. The grants, the submitted proposal in the last year was ARC Power proposal and the ARC Arise. The progress in development is Office of Naval Research. The focus is on the STEM education and workforce program. We are proposing a 1-year STEM educator academy for the high school teachers, and one funding we secure for the ARC funding of 838K, and that's the EVgo card program that has been launched. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Olga Brodihina. I will provide the business intelligence update. Next slide, please. First, the update on Evolve, our electric vehicle adoption forecasting tool, which integrates consumer behavior insights and industry data to predict battery electric vehicles and gas vehicle registrations through 2050, as well as production volumes to meet the demand in the market, as well as the demand for raw materials, energy, and trained workforce. Recent progress on Evolve has been acquiring vehicle registration data for all 50 states quarterly, as well as 10 years of historic data. So previously, we had a strong Alabama model with a confidence of 98%, and now we will be able to build a model at the southeastern and national levels as well. Additionally, we've been working on website development. We set up the website architecture, developed the website prototype. We also tested the prototype with internal and external stakeholders, and are currently working on finalizing the website development. Additionally, we've developed an alternative way to predict the EV adoption trends. So we developed an S-curve based adoption model, which is an alternative to the current sparse learning model, and it will help us to validate and strengthen the current predictions. Next slide, please. Another initiative that we have been working on is the EV Ready Community Program, which is a tri-state initiative supported by the Southern Company. The goal of this program is to enhance statewide preparedness for electric mobility by advancing public awareness, providing technical guidance, and strengthening EV infrastructure planning capacity. As a part of this program, we have been working on developing a user-friendly online tool that would allow stakeholders such as local governments, businesses, employers, retail locations, and others to make decisions and plan for charging infrastructure installation. Particularly, we have developed a comprehensive decision tree flowchart that guides users down 3 different paths depending on the user category. One path is for employee charging, one path is for public charging, such as customers, guests, so it would be retail sites, airports, business services, etc. And the third path is for electric fleets. This flowchart collects user data and generates recommendations for the appropriate type of charger and the number of chargers to install. And it also accounts for budget considerations when making recommendations. The next step would be to convert this flowchart into a user-friendly tool where users can input their data and they would receive the recommendations for the type of charger and the number of chargers to install. Next slide, please. We've also been working on several policy initiatives. One of them has been the project where we are studying the impact of EV adoption on gas tax revenues and transportation infrastructure funding. So previously, we've completed the stage where we used the projections for EV adoption from our Evolve tool to calculate the impact on fuel tax revenues, as well as the registration tax revenues and total impact for the state, as well as on a per vehicle basis for Alabama. Over the last year, instead of providing just one number as an impact, we developed several scenarios, and we're now providing the impact estimates as a range. Most recently, we've presented the study at the Transportation Research Board annual meeting in Washington, D.C. We're also working towards publication for this project, and the full preprint version is currently available at the Elsevier platform, or if you would like, please reach out and I will be happy to email it to you. Thanks to TRB, we have been able to develop some international connections for this study. So currently we're exploring opportunities to expand this to an international scale, maybe conduct this study, but for a larger scale. Next slide, please. Some of the other policy initiatives are the research on bidirectional charging. Bidirectional charging refers to the technologies that allow electric vehicles not just to receive energy from the grid, but also feed the energy back into the grid. And that is important because electric vehicles can serve as a source of backup power for homes. They can also provide opportunities to strengthen grid resiliency in communities. So we've developed a series of reports that provide an overview of these technologies, overview of technological requirements, North American grid structure, laws and regulations governing the resale of electricity. We've done a comparative analysis of the state of the industry and regulatory landscape for different markets in the US, Canada, Western European countries, and Japan. We've explored existing pilot programs and are currently working on setting up a bidirectional charging pilot here at UA. And another initiative that we've been working on in collaboration with our workforce development team, Renew and Elizabeth, it's the research on workforce readiness for battery recycling and second life applications, including the overview of battery life cycle and the circular economy of batteries, the current state of the battery recycling and second life applications, industries and workforce demands and occupational trends. Thank you.
Mike, you're up.
I was talking to myself because I wasn't unmuted. So, yeah, looking forward, we did go back and we reviewed all of those 8 strategic priorities. And again, restating, we're not planning on changing those, but our focus is going to change slightly. We're really focused on building out our research staff growth, both by recruiting researchers and then fully leveraging new facilities and capabilities. And this is going to be done primarily through university and industry collaboration, not only deepening the partners within the system, but actually beyond. So we've started having more conversations with other entities across the nation that have capabilities in power and in battery research, and making sure that we don't duplicate too much. It's impossible not to duplicate in some areas, but really try to be much more collaborative in nature. As far as capital investment attraction, we're still using our Research Excellence Center to attract new industries and drive job creation. We've had very good success in selling the AMP Center as a research facility for industry, and we will continue to do so. And then continue to position Alabama or the Southeastern region as an innovation hub. Very honestly, we've kind of pivoted a little bit. So we were very much focused on EVs, but because we are the Alabama Mobility and Power Center, we always knew that we'd get into data center and grid resiliency. And this, I'll call this correction right now that we're going through. We're moving short-term away from EVs and bridging that with the adoption of data centers is quite easy for us to do, and we're pivoting to do that. But our long-term outlook, still, we believe that EVs are the way of the future. And I think, Brad, you're up.
Yep. So thanks, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Looks like I'm just proud of everyone, how quickly we zoomed through that to allow for questions. I don't know. Let's see here. Pop up in the chat. See if we have any questions in here. I don't see any questions. So the floor is open. Who has a question? Love to answer any, if you want to give any feedback, questions, happy to answer. Thank you, Jill.
Hey, Brad, this is Justice.
Hey, Justice.
Hey, really good presentation and overview. Thank you for that. I'm curious as to what specifically you're going to be doing with data centers. Is it really just grid resilience, or what else are y'all thinking about in terms of how you support the state and various municipalities and counties as it relates to the data center developments?
I'll answer that. So the biggest hindrance to data centers now is the availability of power in the time period of which somebody wants that power available to them. So we've been working with several people, including Spock and several others, to try and mitigate the electrical load that the computing load brings at the source. So whether that means putting a battery pack into a rack, putting a battery pack into a tower, putting the battery pack into a farm, those are all different ways to mitigate loads at the source, which then can lower the total requirement of the site significantly. So that's really been our power. We've been very fortunate that we have forged a couple of relationships with Caterpillar, hopefully being able to use a electric marine application that we will be bringing here on site, hopefully, as well as second use batteries and several others. So it's really about load mitigation, and therefore time to market is much, much faster. Did I answer you, Justice?
That's great, Mike. Thank you.
Who else? Looks like we did a great job, Mike.
It sounds like we did a good job. So if you have any questions at all, I think Bob
I see Bob just popped up.
in.
So Michael, and Brad, what's your idea of the collaboration that will go on between the battery group and the power group? More than anything, other than watching Michael O'Malley's videos that he just sent out to everybody, watching battery packs burn. I've seen a few thousand of those go up in China just because we ran 175 different safety tests on battery pack systems. But we got to play a little catch up here in this country. But what's your idea, Michael, of the collaboration between the power group and the battery group?
So yeah, that's a great question, Bob. And actually that's, we've had a couple of people that actually you introduced us to that really value the fact that we can go all the way through the entire value stream. So from battery chemistry through battery cell. And of course, Luke's doing a great job of bringing in innovative ways of testing the cells. But at the end of the day, we put those cells in a module, put those modules into a pack, and we have to be able to test those effectively and efficiently. So our ability to bring those to the power lab, hook them into a real world integrated microgrid and understand how they perform is very unique to this university. Actually, it's very unique to any place that we've found so far. And I think the more we do this, the more we're going to partner and understand what battery chemistries or what battery formats or what battery systems perform best under which situations, and therefore allow us to have iterative feedback very, very quickly, not only within the battery chemistry, but in the use within the system. Does that make sense? Yeah,
and I think Michael Jorn Tunnemeyer in his speech at the NatBat conference was quite remarkable. Somebody's microphone went off mute. Donnie Jones. There you go. What I was saying, Michael, is the speech that Jorn Tunnemeyer gave us is a great example of what you just said, is how we take the fully integrated systems and put it into play. Well, Jorn is saying he wants to minimize what he calls the blast radius. And for those that were not at the NatBat event, the blast radius is a single point failure shouldn't take out the whole system. And that's what happened to Amazon recently, where they had a massive failure at one of their data centers. This is the kind of thing that they're trying to avoid. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for everybody to hear.
Very good. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. If there's any other question, if there's not, I'd be more than happy to give you back 24 minutes of your life. All right.
Well, thank you, Michael. That's very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks very much. I'm very proud of what the team's accomplished, and we are moving still at breakneck speeds, as you can see, and hopefully by the time we have our next update, we'll have a up and running battery lab, which would be amazing. So anyway, thank you everybody for your time, and thanks for your support.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.